Hey there, it's Nina with Walla Stamping. Thanks for joining me. This is the project that we're going to be making today, and it's going to be featuring all new product from the 2017 holiday catalog. Now I am featuring Halloween, of course, today. I found this little chocolate bar at Publix when I was grocery shopping the other day, and I realized that you might not give this large of a treat out to your trick-or-treaters, but I decided to go ahead and make this little treat pouch because I felt like you may want to make this for co-workers, friends, family, other people that you might want to give a little treat to for Halloween, and I just thought that it would be really cute. So I've got a kit. All you have to do is go over to my blog at wallastamping.com, leave a comment underneath the post for this project, and you'll be entered in to win this kit. I also have these 3 little treat pouches. Anyone who shops with me during the month of August and September will automatically get a free tutorial for these treat pouches, and when you make a comment on this project that we're making today, not only will your name be entered to win the kit, but it will also be entered to win these 3 treat pouches. So as you can see, I did this one in pumpkin pie. I decided to change it up a little bit and do this one today, at least the base, in basic black. So you're going to need one piece that is 9.5 by 5. You'll need an additional piece that is 3 by 6. Then for this one, I'm going to use a couple of pieces of elegant eggplant. This one is cut to 8 1/4 by 2 3/4, and this one is 5 3/4 by 2 3/4. Then I have the Spooky Night Designer Series paper, and I'm going to be using this for the inside panel, and this is cut to 8 by 2 5/8. This will be the outside panel. It's 5 1/2 by 2 5/8. Then I just have some scrap pieces of basic black, elegant eggplant, and pumpkin pie, and that is what I'm going to be cutting out the little embellishments here, as well as the medallion. I'm going to be using my black baker's twine to tie a bow, and I'm also going to be using the new black rhinestones out of the new catalog. My ink is going to be basic black and pumpkin pie, and I'll be using some fast fuse as well as some Stampin' Dimensionals and my bone folder, as well as my paper piercing tool. To do my stamping, I will use my Pierce mat. The blocks that I'm going to be using today is G, and you could actually use 2 G's because this one will fit on it, but I've got mine on a block D because I only have 1 G block and then a block C. So the first thing we need to do is go ahead and get our scoring done. I've got my paper in on the 5-inch side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to score at 1/2 inch and then at 1 inch. Then I'm going to flip it to the opposite side and do that again. So that's a 1/2 inch and 1 inch. Then on the 9.5 inch side, on one end, we're going to score at a 1/2 inch and 1. And then flip it around to the opposite end, and we're going to score at 2.5 inches, but we're going to stop when we reach this second score line. Then I'm just going to flip it upside down and do the same thing here, and this is just excuse me, for cutting purposes. Let's go ahead and get all of our lines folded and burnished. You won't need to do these short score lines up here because, like I was saying before, they're only for a cutting reference. So as you can see, hopefully, there are 4 little squares down here. We're going to cut those out on both sides because I don't feel like we need them. So I've got that part done. Now where we made those little short score lines, we're going to cut straight up to that second horizontal score line, and then we're going to cut on that second score line all the way up and just cut this little piece away. We'll do it again over here. This is going to be the inside panel of our box, or our pouch. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this piece down, as well as the Spooky Night Designer Series paper. I'm just going to go ahead and use my fast fuse to do this with. So next I'm going to do my front panel. And now comes the part of assembling our pouch. So where we're going to put our adhesive is here and here. So I'm just going to flip this over, go ahead and run my fast fuse on the outer portion of these 3 sections here. Then I'm going to curl those in and flip it back over so it doesn't stick to my work surface. I'm going to stick these corners down right here. Then take the top flap, stick that down here on the bottom, line it up here on the right side, then on the left side, and get that stuck down. Now you can take that and flip it over, grab your bone folder and just slide that down inside of your box and make sure that everything is stuck really well. Okay, so here we go. That is your box complete. All you have to do now is stick your little candy down in there, and it fits very nicely. There's plenty of wiggle room for you in there. Let's go ahead and cut out the portions to make our little embellishments and get our medallion stamped. So I'm using my scrap piece of pumpkin pie. I'm going to take this background stamp, and I haven't even shown you, goodness gracious, what I'm using. So the little embellishments that I'm using are these 2 right here, which comes from the Patterned Pumpkin Thinlits. To make up the bundle, we have the Pick a Pumpkin stamp set. These 2 go together, and it's called the Pick a Pumpkin Bundle. Now, of course, you can purchase these separately, but if you buy them together, you do save 10%. I'm not going to be using these stamps on this project today. The stamps that I'm going to be using, however, are the Spooky Cat stamps. I'm using this little background stamp, the Happy Halloween, and the A Wicked Treat for You stamp. This also coordinates with this cat punch, and this is called the Spooky Cat Bundle. And like the previous one, you can buy these 2 pieces separately, but if you purchase them together as a bundle, you'll save 10% on those as well. I'm going to stamp my background stamp using my pumpkin pie ink, and I'm just going to get that inked up. And let me grab my Pierce mat here, because this is a photopolymer stamp, and you get a much crisper, clearer image when you use this mat behind it. Oops, sorry for all that banging around. I'm going to use my basic black ink next, and grab my Happy Halloween and get that stamped right on top of this little background stamp here. Then I'll grab this stamp, get it inked up in the black as well. And what is so cool about this is that you can see through the stamp. Let me get you a little bit closer so that you can see better what I'm doing. You can see through the stamp to tell where to stamp this one down. So that makes layering these stamps so very easy. To cut this out with, I'm actually going to be using my Layering Ovals Framelits. I'm going to use the 3rd from the smallest plain oval to cut out my stamped image. So I'm going to get that, actually that's the wrong one. It should be this one. I almost used the wrong one. I'm glad I noticed that. So get that lined up around there. Then I'm also going to use the 3rd from the smallest scalloped oval. And this is just a piece of basic black that I had left over after I did my cutting and getting my paper ready. So let's get this run through. So I have my scrap pieces here of my basic black and my elegant eggplant. I'm going to cut out 2 of this shape in the purple, and as well as cut out 2 of those in the black, and then I'm going to cut out 2 of these in my basic black. So let me get all of these run through my Big Shot and cut out, and I'll be back to put it all together. To attach my sentiment to my scalloped oval, I'm just going to use my fast fuse. I did not get that straight. Let me straighten that up a little bit. Here we go, that's better. Then I'm going to take a couple of my small black rhinestones. This is another new item in the catalog. And put one of those on either side of the Happy Halloween. I'm going to put a couple of dimensionals on the back of my Happy Halloween. Then I'm going to put this on the front panel of my treat pouch, and I'm going to line it up in the center and about 1/2 of an inch down from this top edge here. Then to attach these, I'm just going to use some mini glue dots. So I'll put a little glue dot right there, slide that under, press it down. So we've got this part done. I also need to make a little bow with my basic black baker's twine. So I'm just going to get this little bow tied right here. That was my alarm reminding me it's time to eat, because I am telling you all the truth that I get busy working in my craft studio and I forget that I need to eat. So I set an alarm for myself so that I get properly nutritioned throughout the day. Isn't that awful? But I have to, or otherwise I'll go all day and not eat a bite. So to stick this on, I've got a little glue dot. I'm gonna just roll it up into a little ball. Stick that right there just above my little medallion. Let me get my bow sized down just a little bit more. Then where the knot is in my bow, I'm going to stick that right in the middle of that glue dot, and then I'm just going to snip off the extra baker's twine that I don't need. So here is the treat pouch I just made. Here is the one I made previously. This one is done in pumpkin pie. This one is in basic black. Be sure to head over to my blog because I have a complete list of the supplies over there, and I've also prepared an instruction sheet for you. It's going to give you all of the measurements as well as a list of supplies that you'll need to create this project. But just be aware, these are products from the holiday catalog. They're not available until September 1st. So if you have a wish list, be sure to add these to it. If you like the video, be sure to give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you won't miss any of my paper crafting tutorials in the future. Also, remember to make a comment on this post to be entered to win this kit. So I hope that you enjoyed the tutorial. Thank you for stopping by and watching, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon.